Welcome here to TownHall Heroes. Hello and welcome to episode number 140 of TownHall Heroes. I'm Jake. We've got Dunk Train, BBJ, and Inverum here on tonight's show, and we'll be talking about more Heroes 2.0 goodness, Cassia discussion, the Hot D, Heroes of the Dorm, and then the AMA that is still ongoing as far as I understand. Might be just kind of peering into the sights of that. Dunkus, I just saw you petting a little Doge. Oh, it's still on your lap.
Yeah, he's a little Doge. He's kind of tired right now, so he's not being active. But it's a small puppy that my family's had for like a month, so I figured it was time for him to make a town hall appearance. You know, start becoming famous.
That famous. Like, am I gonna get to meet that Doge when I'm out in Vegas?
No, definitely not.
Oh, that's so sad. Well, we've got BBJ on the show for the very first time, and BBJ, you're the support player for LFM, a team on the rise in the amateur scene, but you've got a bit more esports history than just that.
I played competitively in like league and stuff. That's about it, though. Started playing HOTS 8 months ago now, I think. I saw like PPL and was like, I want to be on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That was
then I played one game of PPL and it died. That was a little sad.
Feels bad, man. I
won the game though, so worth.
That's actually a good thing. Yeah, you were what, challenger in league?
Yeah. Mostly I was playing sport in league too. On a team no one would know of. I played mostly like Vigar, actually. Vigar support, some Nautilus, some Blitzcrank, some cheesy stuff.
Yeah.
Inverum, welcome back, my friend. How have you been?
Dude, I'm good. Just chilling at the Gamerlink offices, putting in a good day. Back on that grind. But, no, dude, good. Had a lot of fun doing some open stuff. Obviously, Arcanum this weekend. Lots of heroes. And, of course, we got that Hot D this weekend. If you saw the picture Caldor tweeted, we got the legit Hot D. And good times were had by all.
I actually
no one know what I'm talking about.
Incognito tab the Twitter's.
No, it was. You'll get the joke. Dread retweeted it. Just look at Caldor's Twitter feed when you get just. It's worth your time.
Okay. Oh, I see.
It's a table shaped like it's a phallic looking table, and it's the Hot D. Okay, that was
You're not wrong.
That was all it was. I ruined the joke.
You did.
Now I'm just thinking of Big D in the kids table, and my brain's all kinds of confused.
Oh, God, Jake, what are you doing?
That's a band, a great band.
Yeah? I'm not sure if I believe the word great, but...
Whoa, what was that toot-toot honk?
What was that honk? That was perfectly timed. Like Carbot? Like, what's happening?
Well, yeah, we might hear some weird things, too, on my end. I've got the door open today, and mostly because I want to see if the fox comes through my yard again. I've had a fox in my neighborhood recently, and... it's so nice out. It's finally feeling like spring up here in the Northeast. But, well, we've got a lot to talk about in the realm of heroes. And we're going to start with a shorter segment about Cassia. Since she was officially launched into the Nexus today, she's someone I want to talk about, but not in full, not like a full deep dive or anything. General impressions, like the first impressions, BBJ, you're a support player, but how do you feel about Cassia?
I definitely think she's niche. At best, I don't think she'll ever be like a must-pick type of hero. But I don't know, she has some interesting builds. I think Q build's kind of weak. I think it's like more of an auto or an E or a blind focus build. It's going to be what she goes for. Q just doesn't have enough talents like pre-10 from what I see.
Yeah, I feel like her E build's going to be more what people focus on. But it requires some some team synergy. Like if you can draft like a pick comp, I think in the early game actually does not bad damage. Like if you've got the CCs to set it up, but I would agree that niche is a good term.
Yeah, I think she's going to have matchups that she crushes, and then the rest of the time she's just going to be pretty meh in terms of actual balance.
How do you guys feel about her trait? Just kind of the approach with that avoidance. It's a ton of armor. It gives a player the incentive to be able to stutter step. Anyone that can't stutter step, straight up, you just cannot play this hero. Essentially, do you think that it's good design or just kind of like, eh?
I think it doesn't solve the biggest problem that a lot of ranged assassins have, that if you get locked down, you're dead. Like, yeah, sure, it helps her trade. But again, you shut her down, you don't allow her to move, and she has the same problems as any other squishy ranged assassin. So, sure. I mean, it's cool. I like the idea. I like I like the development team going towards a more skill-oriented trait-based passive. But overall, it's okay.
I think it's interesting. I agree. I'm not sure it will succeed. Like Infra mentioned, you're still vulnerable to lockdown, and because of a shorter attack range, it really feels like you're just way more vulnerable overall to getting CC'd in the first place, especially because you have no mobility. So, like, on the one hand, it's neat, but on the other hand, I'm not sure if in reality it'll be effective.
It seems kind of similar to what they were doing with tanks, which some people liked and some people didn't, by giving them passive, this tank's good against mages, this tank's good against autoers. I mean, you can run around all you want, but if you're getting hit by spells, you're still gonna die. It's that hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it is physical armor, not armor. What about her Q? It's kind of the first skill shot they've added that has the full benefit that bounces away that I can think of. I guess it's just kind of a nice little thing. It's obviously not something that's going to work in every single situation, like the way a Ghanaian cocktail, it's a targeted splash. But I thought that was kind of cool the way they approached it.
It's a neat ability. I mean, it's fairly standard, I would say. Overall, it's not anything crazy, but I think it's cool. It's solid.
So what her win rate's at, I think 39%, as what Hotslog says. That's a day one result, but still, as far as most new heroes go, it seems pretty low.
Yeah, it's pre-buff Probius level, so it's pretty low.
I think they've been burned in the past by releasing heroes that are broken. And it's weird because that's anti every school of pay hero MOBA ever, which is release the broken heroes so you buy them, which Blizzard was doing for a while. And then I guess they I think honestly Zarya made him a little gun shy. I feel like they have PTSD from Zarya and how snappily they had to try and balance her. Obviously she was super low and then super good, and then let's bring that back a bit. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like she's a high skill cap hero who doesn't perform, who doesn't have enough reward for the amount of skill that it takes to play her.
I agree. I just don't feel like she has the tools, even if you're the best player in the world or whatever, she can't really capitalize. I don't know, she's just not got that something that lets you make crazy plays or whatever,
Lack of mobility, I feel is definitely a big hindrance.
Yeah, her attack range is super low. Her mobility is non-existent. But what about her ults?
She doesn't have any burst either. She has E, but it's so easy to sidestep. I think that's a serious problem. Is that you have to move a trivial distance, perpendicular to the angle, and you're out of it immediately. You can never hit more than a quarter of a second of it, unless the target's stunned anyway, which you can't do yourself.
Yeah, I almost wonder if it should have some sort of very in charge additional big bad boy slow in there too, or something. I don't know. It feels hella underwhelming.
But if it hits them, it does do
hit
a shit ton of damage. So I don't know.
So if we had to compare her to a ranged assassin with a shorter range, like Tychus. Tychus is a tank buster. She's a pseudo melee assassin, but she does bring something else to the table in the effect of Valkyrie. Is Valkyrie actually a meaningful ability since it's a pull you out of place, or too long of a cooldown, not enough impact compared to just the damage you'd get at a ball lightning?
I actually think both her ults are unimpactful, and that's one of the reasons she's not great. Like, Valkyrie theoretically is good, but the windup is infinitely long. And then Ball Lightning, I don't know, I tried to play with it, and every team fight I was in, the ball just disappeared after like 1 or 2 bounces, and I was not really sure why. It's like, it felt like if one person on the enemy team died, the ball would just stop bouncing every time for some reason or something. I'm not sure. But that was my experience with it.
BBJ, have you guys scrimmed at all with her in your scrims?
No, she's not available for next Open. I don't think so.
Right.
I don't let them play any of the new heroes. We just started getting into Proteus. There's some fun comps you can do with that hero.
See, when I first saw Valkyrie, I was like, "Yo, this is gonna be dope!" Because all I originally saw it was the the initial sort of trailer for her, I guess. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be so busted!" But the wind-up on it is silly.
Yeah.
It's a worse Stitches hook. Like, it isn't even the range of hook.
It's a way worse Stitches hook.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's
It
a heroic.
Looks so cool though.
Like, the animation's god tier. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it could scoop multiple opponents from base, had a longer range, like a little bit longer range, and a slightly reduced cast time.
Oh, it doesn't go
I think
through
it would be
walls,
viable.
or it would just pull them into the wall. I don't actually know.
It can pull through gates, but
can
it
pull through
can't
gates. Yeah.
do anything
That's
else.
pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you can get value with it. It's not useless. It's just like, again, I feel like it's too situational.
Maybe
See,
they
that
like
mouth was
animate-
going to follow up with the root, though.
Yeah.
Esports. Well, Cassia, I'm going to try to get J-How on in a future week. He actually just went out to the Philippines for like, I don't know, 2 weeks. He's going to be gone for a while. He has been grinding the crap out of this hero. We'll find somebody who's actually super passionate and excited about her that's played a lot, because my first impressions was like, I don't know, I just didn't feel impactful. I didn't feel like that ranged assassin. I tend to like the ranged auto heroes. Like when Zul'jin came out, I just grinded Zul'jin, got him to level 9 in like 2 days, and I rarely do that with new heroes. But her, I don't get that vibe. So we'll have to see, because I really cannot comment on her personally. I've played 2 games, straight up. Who just got yelled at? Who's in trouble?
Probably the little dog.
God damn, that little dog. Does he have a name? You just call him the little dog.
Just little dog.
Okay.
No, his name is Dante.
Dante.
Yeah, named after Dante's Inferno.
So when he takes a big dump, you call it Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, exactly.
7 levels of dump. Okay. Oh dear.
Jake keeping it classy. All right, let's transition and move on to the combination of talking about Heroes of the Dorm and then the amateur scene, because this is kind of why we definitely wanted to have you on. BJ, you jokingly messaged me last night saying, hey, since I won the event, does that mean I get to go on and trash talk the rest of Open Division? And I was like, yes.
I've been told by my team to not say things that I normally say when it's just talking with my team. So I have to tone down the flame a bit. Just a little bit.
Well,
But, I don't
so
know.
go ahead.
hold on. For context here, I think real quick. BBJ, for those who might not be totally familiar with you and your image, this is the BBJ. What exactly is the story? Just so we're clear going into the segment.
Big Baby Jesus is what it stands for. It just doesn't fit in the Battle.net client thing, so I shortened it up.
That was it. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
That was it. Okay.
For the picture.
We've got the picture on lockdown. Excellent. Is that a self-portrait?
No. That's
It
the first thing that comes up on Google.
Okay. So Heroes of the Dorm will be our follow-up to Open Division talk. And Cup number 5 for Open Division did wrap up just last night, and LFM just took the back-to-back victory. Now, if we were to look at the standings, I actually have a fancy little graphic going into last week that I made for Open Division. You guys actually became the number 1 seed, 10 points ahead of UTA, who by far and large have been considered the favorites, but they've been a bit focused on Dorm. Cure slept in 1 week. I think it was Cure. So they ended up missing one of the cups, which hurt them in the point count. But you guys are now very much number one in the Open Division. And do you guys think you are ahead of the pack or what when it comes to the amateur scene?
I mean, our feeling, kind of everybody on the team feels that right now it's kind of just us and Imported, and everybody else is just like one step behind us.
Even UTA?
We haven't played UTA since the first Open. They won't scrim us because we have Drayden and Heck on our team. They don't want to show dorm strats or anything.
That makes sense.
So yeah, we don't. I mean, they lost to Even and Death, and I don't think Even and Death was looking that great that week or anything. And they almost dropped a game to Laval, I think. Dorms.
That was a sick game.
They definitely should have lost that game. It was Laval's to lose. So I don't know. I mean, UTA could still be really good, or could just be kind of stagnant since the first week.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I mean, honestly, Even in Death last night when we saw their games, they in the semifinals, they kind of got crushed by Imported. Like, it really wasn't that close, and the fact that Even Death did beat UTA is what, based on that, a bit surprising. Because I don't know if you guys didn't catch the games, you can check them on the Arcanate VODs here. But it was like, they just got bullied. They played afraid. I think it was a support lock, if I remember the draft correctly. In game one, they had like Brightwing Tassadar on Cursed Hollow, and like they just couldn't deal with Lunara. Lunara's really been one of those heroes that's seeing a lot more play ever since the Eastern Clash.
Yeah, you can definitely draft around like getting a Malfurion or banning it and getting a Lucio, and then the rest of the healers besides maybe Ariel kind of feel bad into Lunara. Like Rhaegar feels pretty bad. Brightwing doesn't feel great. What other healers are there? Monk
There
feels
are no
pretty
other
bad.
healers.
Yeah. They played Uther last night. Imported support did, which I mean we kind of knew they would pick.
What?
I've seen that strat before.
Why now, though? But why now on the Uther? Like, I love Uther.
We banned the Ariel, took the Malf, banned something else, I think. So it was like Uther or Rhaegar were their options, maybe?
Yeah.
But they didn't want
And
Rhaegar
Uther
to
got played
Chromie,
in
I don't
Eastern
know.
Clash. Don't be a hater.
Pretty sure he had
But
a
he's
0% win
gonna
rate,
be
right?
so. But
That's
he's
true.
gonna be good
no.
soon.
No, they won that game, actually.
He won the one
they
game he got
won
played in.
with
Yeah.
Uther into Lunara.
100% win rate.
I don't know how they won with Uther
Easy.
into Lunara. It shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It's really interesting watching the meta shift, though, because Open Division has its own kind of confined meta. But a few weeks ago, you would have seen, Tasval is open for second pick. You're absolutely going to grab that in your first rotation. But we saw multiple drafts where that was an option, and it wasn't grabbed. We were seeing Gul'dan Ariel instead. Things that basically were saying, look, we don't want to, because we were seeing a lot of support bans. And in the early phase, like Malfurion was being banned a lot, and Zarya was being banned a lot. And then basically, it just seemed like everyone was like trying to play around Lunara. Lunara's having this huge impact on the meta right now, and it's very revolving around her and then supports. And I wonder if Uther becoming a more viable support will shake things up a lot in that regard.
Tassadar last night, I think, had a 0% win rate.
Yeah, he lost like every game.
I think he went 0-5. So,
But that's so tough because, like, the TAS, it's like the perfect symbiotic relationship. Ideally, it's like the TAS has to be playing well and the carry has to be playing well. Like, if any one part of that's not quite on the same page, you just don't. It just doesn't work.
Almost every TAS game was like TAS Vala, and Vala would be the one assassin. So their damage was like, a Vala putting out like 80k versus the other team's top damage being like 40k or something. But they would still lose like almost every single game.
You just take Zarya. Zarya is just better. She's just better than TAS. Yeah. She effectively does what TAS does, and she puts out quadruple the damage. Yeah. Like, you just pick Zarya. Like, Zarya we saw her being first picked, at least in all of the games that ICAST imported, was prioritizing her super hard. Mm-hmm. And specialty was just wrecking kids. was just straight red. We had, for those who don't know, for those who are watching this, we had a 2 minute and 41 second game on Monday.
What?
Wait.
Yes, we had. I'm pretty sure the fastest broadcasted game in Heroes of the Storm history. Our first round matchup, the teams, bless them, they were, newer players, weren't 100% sure with how things were functioning in the tournament, took 2 hours and 40 minutes to play 2 games. So, I was frustrated. So was Imported, because they had to wait. So they drafted Zarya, Anubis, Sylvanas, Ariel, and Vikings on Cursed, and they pushed. It was a 6-level lead, and they cored at 2 minutes and 4. They were attacking the core at 2 minutes, and they won. And the next game they won in 6 minutes and 3 seconds.
Holy! But
You can check out the VODs on my channel if you're curious.
That's glorious.
It was stupid.
Can you?
Yeah, but how will you find the 2 minutes? How will you find the 2 minutes of gameplay in the 2 hours of setup?
I'll put that on YouTube. I'll put that on Reddit because it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I want the highlighted version though. I don't want to watch the full game; it's too long.
Yeah.
Too much downtime.
Yeah, we were just because we were in the draft, and then they drafted Vikings. Last person, and we were like losing our minds before the game even started because we knew what was happening.
You just became a cow in heat.
Yeah, we were just losing our minds. Anyway, so Imported was looking super solid, but Zarya was the key to their drafts a lot throughout the night. They definitely didn't look quite as strong when they didn't get her. Sorry, Imported, but you telegraphed that really hard. So
yeah. A lot of teams, we see that out of, I believe Even in Death does it, I believe Imported does it, and I believe LFM, you guys run a bit of Triple Warrior if you have Zarya. And it's
Triple Warrior with Lucio in general is really strong. You don't necessarily need the Zarya, but like the Zarya just can enable like more range carry options, or even another like a melee carry option.
I'm trying to remember if it was Arcanum or Open Division where we saw a draft that had, I believe it was Lucio Mouth and Ariel Rhaegar on the two teams. It was super strange in Brax's holdout. We've seen so many weird things. I mean, it became kind of like a damage utility Lucio, which isn't a thing, and then it became a Searing Light Reservoir of Hope Ariel, just trying to have a little bit of additional damage in the mix as well. But the Ariel team, I believe, is the side that won that game. But BBJ, looking at Open Division, do you think the meta is like robust, or do you think it's kind of getting figured out already?
I think it keeps going through stages of where people default back to what they know, kind of. Like, Tassadar got nerfed, so people started playing stuff that wasn't Tass, but then realized, Tass is still good enough to be, like, early picked. And then Tass got nerfed again, so I don't think we'll see him for a bit, but I think people might just default back to that because it's somewhat safe, and they played it a ton before. But honestly, it seems like some teams kind of just copy what we play a lot. Ooh. Like a few, I know Even in Death likes to play what we play, like a lot of times. A lot of their drafts are eerily similar, and I don't know. Vox and Imported are a bit predictable in what they play. I think Imported just doesn't scrim enough to have like a diverse amount of strategies, and I think Vox likes to default back to their Chromie pick a lot.
But Dark Chimera on Chromie, guys, it's cool. It's the support player.
I mean, I think in Arcanum Finals they like picked it in their 2-3, and then we just like it and ran all over it.
Yeah,
like, it was an interesting draft decision.
Yeah, I mean, I had hyped it up too at that point, so like we knew it was coming, but I mean, it's still just a it's still a Chromie. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I mean, he definitely, when we played him last night, I think he just one-shot me twice from like 75% HP as Lucio. So I mean, it's not that he's a bad Chromie.
Oh no, he's a solid Chromie.
Probably a better support than Trap is, and maybe, I don't know, just switching of the roles gets kind of weird.
Well, it's not. I think it's less that, and the fact that sure, you can pull out a pocket pick one guy, but this game doesn't work like that. Like there aren't just that carry. Like you can't carry like that in this game.
I mean, so is Lee Min can carry.
So is Lehman can carry.
Yeah.
Dude, he was popping off last night.
I don't know. I play that hero and I just am like blinking around randomly and whiffing every orb, and he just doesn't miss a skill shot. It's pretty nuts.
Okay, so if you think LFM and Imported are clearly the top of the Open Division, I mean, obviously you guys are 1 and 2 right now, and UTA is dropped to number 3, but that is with them missing 2 cups again. What do you guys think of the Pro League? Like, how do you think there's a large gap? Do you think that the bottom half is like below you? Where do you judge it?
I mean, we've only scrimmed, I think, 2 HGC teams recently, but I mean, we're gonna start getting a bunch more soon. We beat like 1 top 4 team, but I mean, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes how hard they're trying or whatever. Times I think sometimes maybe the first time you scrim like an open team, you don't take it as seriously.
Yeah.
But I think we're definitely in a position, as long as we keep improving, to definitely be able to beat either of the bottom 2 teams,
Is that
whichever they
something
are.
you're like actively trying to get more of, like more scrims with HGC teams?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for some reason going into Open, nobody really knew who we were. But now I think we're getting at least a little more known, a little more respect.
Being the number 1 team in Open Division definitely warrants that notice and respect for sure. Cool. Well, let's talk about Dorm. UTA, the favorites in Dorm, and Inverum. I'm actually going to give you the floor here for a moment because this has been a journey for you.
Yeah, I mean, we started with Dorm back about 2 months ago. We first did the group stages. Unfortunately, not as many people knew it was going on as we would have liked, but we started back at the beginning, and obviously that was a whole adventure. But we ended up coming down to pretty much the teams we expected. There were definitely some upsets towards the end, though. Like my top 4 bracket, I only got 2 of the top 4 picks correctly. Like there was definitely some upsets that we were not anticipating at all. I mean, UTA was the favorite from the get-go. Like it was, everyone's like, yeah, it's UTA, it's UTA. I casted them in the TESPA training grounds, so I had a even better sense of just how much further ahead they were. And I think from the TESPA training grounds to now is a huge difference. I think that the rest of the scene has caught up in a big way. But I still don't think that, like, I mean, UTA still has 100% win rate for a reason. Yeah, they almost dropped that game to Laval, but I think contextually, they just look that good. But the rest of the teams that come top, Kentucky particularly, they're just such an aggressive team. They don't know enough not to do the things they do. You know what I mean? It's like, it almost looks like they just don't know any better. But they must at this point, because it keeps working for them. But when you just watch their initial round of play, it was like, what? These guys are just needlessly aggressive, like mindlessly aggressive, and it paid off for them. And then you look across the board, and LSU, they're, obviously they've got a chip going into this as well. So I don't know. It was interesting. Also, I misspoke. It was 4 minutes and 41 seconds on the other game, not 2 minutes. I don't know why I thought it was 2 minutes.
That's a big difference there.
That's a big difference. I don't know why I said 2. I don't know why I had 2 in my head, but it's only 4 minutes and 41 seconds. I'm dumb. It was just so crazy at the time, but still, 4 minutes and 41 seconds is still.
Yeah, no, we've had games like that before. Not common, but it has happened on.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Why I was like, man, 2 minutes and 20, that's great. No, 4 minutes, that makes a hell of a lot more sense. At the time, we were just like losing our minds. But anyway, yeah. So Dorms, I think, is at this point, I feel like these top 4. I think the semis are going to be awesome. Because of the weakness UTA has shown. I actually am very happy that they've shown that they can bleed, because otherwise we were going to look at a blowout.
Like last year, where it was just raffle stomp. And the year, well, actually, no, the first Dorm was a pretty good finals.
Oh, it was an amazing finals. Best all 5 games.
Yeah. This is an interesting journey for Dorm, though, because like Dorm is on its 3rd year, and they made the jump from ESPN to Facebook, which has had interesting results. Facebook has a lot of weird player issues. It's a new platform. It's an untested platform, and I mean, I wouldn't broadcast on it myself. That's what I'd say, but it's definitely an interesting decision and test for Blizzard with this. I think there's a lot on the line. Like all these studio broadcasts have lit. I think both parties learn. But now that they're going to a live event, the number of variables that come into that with a stage and when it comes to video quality and lighting and like showing a large crowd and like, you know, if the bit rate cannot be supported on Facebook, it could actually look disastrous. So I'm really curious as to how it holds up.
Yes. Yes.
Affirmative.
Again, none of this is on Blizzard's end. It's like whether or not Facebook's player can keep up, essentially.
We are sending it out at 4,000 bit rate. So, yes.
Yeah, that should be enough for basically 1280-60, actually. So, I don't know. That'll be interesting to watch. At least it's free, though, for everyone to view and enjoy. But yeah, here's the dorm this weekend. I know a ton of people are on their way to Vegas to have a enjoyable time experiencing the whole dealie. Dunk and I, we can't make it. We got plans. I thought about trying to go, but I got to go to Vegas for Kubi's wedding in like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Vegas twice a year is too much.
I mean, Dunk, how can you travel so far, dude? Like, what's it like having to travel all that way?
Oh man, you know, it's tough. Like, you got to get out in the bed in the morning and then drive on the freeway for like 30 minutes. It's a disaster. I mean, I think pants are optional. I'm not sure. I've lived in Vegas a long time, and I'm pretty sure pants are optional here. Don't take my word for it, though.
Pants aren't optional. Heckram and Draded are gonna get in some trouble.
They are
unlucky.
You know, someone in chat just pointed out one good thing about the transition to Facebook is the fact that since it doesn't have to be on a TV-safe platform, they don't have to use that janky UI where it almost looks like the baseball diamond for the minimap. I mean,
Random.
Hello?
Sorry.
Yes, this is Dog.
But yeah, I mean that's definitely a nice upgrade. TV is the past. Anything that's TV based is ancient.
Jake's a hater.
I am a hater.
I mean, there are good shows that come on TV.
Yeah, and I'll watch them online.
Wow.
I remember when Cloakin first joined the broadcast, which was so cool. I have a small story about that in a second. But okay. I was like, man, like, you know, what was the deal with that UI? Like, why did we do that? And he's like, dude, it was such a nightmare to do. Apparently, like, to get it all TV safe and for ads, it's got to be like certain far off the bottom, certain in, and apparently it was just like an absolute nightmare to do. I felt so bad because he's like, I'm so happy we get to use the new like our UI and and like we asked because we were like, should we dumb it down like how they did in the past 2 years with the casting? It's like, should we? And they're like, no, like maybe like 90%. Like, but don't. Like, this is for, like, the more consummate players. And we're like, sweet.
Yeah, the dumbing down was interesting in the past years. But, you know, it was a necessity at the time. We are past that now, though. I mean, Heroes has been out for 3 years. I think the player base, it's hardcore. It's where it's at. I don't even know how it would do on TV at this point, to be honest with you. In terms of like attaining new audience or anything, I don't think it really would.
Well, and it's so funny from a fundamental standpoint. We were so hyped about getting esports on traditional television. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like 2 years ago going like, traditional television is going to be dead in 10 years. What do we care? They want to get where we are, not the other way around.
My ISP,
it was mind-blowing.
My ISP wanted me to upgrade my service to include TV, and they're like, we'll give it to you for less money, basically. They're like, we'll pay you to have TV in your house just so our numbers show that we have a cable box. I literally own a cable box that's in its box in the closet. Like, I don't want that. I have a laptop. I can plug that laptop into a TV.
There's just something so wrong with that.
It's so funny because like the studio we ran dorms out of, we shared with we shared part of the office with a production company who's doing a reality TV show, and they were like, we want to do what you guys are doing. Like, what? They were so curious about what we were doing.
Why'd they play the game still?
Reality
TV is dead game, dude.
Dead game.
Twitch IRL, where it's at, guys.
No comeback mechanics.
IRL has no comeback mechanics.
Yeah, none at all.
And once you're out, you're out. Okay, so BBJ, you've played with a lot of the dorm players. You expecting?
Yeah.
What do you have any expectations for like what some teams might try to like cheat, like crafty cheeses they might do?
I mean, I can't give away LSU's cheeses. That'd be uncalled for.
Do they have
I get in
cheeses?
some trouble. We definitely didn't play some stuff last night so that they could play it in dorm if they needed to. Yeah, but they definitely have a few cheesy-ish strats. They're not like, I mean, some of them are like somewhat meta heroes or things we've seen before, but a little different. I think, who have I seen? I've seen, who's the team that plays UTA in the finals? Because I know it's Kentucky, LSU, UTA. Is it Irvine? UC Irvine?
Yep, UC Irvine.
I think in the finals it'll be LSU, UTA, and I actually think whoever wins the first game is going to win the series. I just think the mentalities of each team is kind of not great to come back.
Okay, all right. I'm so glad you brought this up because this opens up a great little channel. Okay, so we were discussing as a team, like, how do you beat UTA? And it was like a legitimate question. And like when the casters were coming, and when the casters were coming in, they were like, how do you beat UTA? And we were legitimately trying to discuss it. And I think we maybe discovered the formula. And it's basically, it's you bully Cladius until he makes a mistake. And then he makes a mistake. And the first time it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. But like the second time, that's when Yuge like says something or snaps a little bit or something. And then Yuge gets a little tilted. And then Cladius gets a little tilted. And then the whole team starts to just tilt. And maybe this won't happen. Maybe this isn't the case. They'll be super calm, super composed. But when you're up on that stage and your blood's pumping and stuff's going and you don't think and you're just saying stuff, and then the whole team starts to just slide. Because the Ebros are, like, from what I understand, aren't they're fairly, level folks. And they're not going to, like, I think get too over the top with it. But if you basically, it's tilt Yuge, win the game. And then I think you're right. If they don't get that momentum, like, I don't think they're going to lose the whole thing, but I think LSU can take a game. And maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know.
I don't think the players on UTA like playing with each other a ton at this point, from what I've heard. So I think there's a chance that if you just beat them once, it might have to be convincingly or something, that they just all kind of start playing for themselves a bit more and not listening as well. It could just go all downhill from there.
That's interesting. I don't.
Go ahead. Because they still make the same mistakes they made last year. Looking at their gameplay, like Yuge tries to make big plays, or Cladius tries to make big. Kira's solid. Kira's solid across the board. I have like
unless he's sleeping.
Yeah, unless he's. Jesus. Yes, unless he's sleeping. But like, I mean, if they just try to make the big plays and they get capitalized on.
How many of those players have played on stages before?
At least 3 of them, I think.
Yeah. Has Kira played in a LAN setting?
I think so.
I don't. He hasn't played in a Heroes one, as far as I know.
Okay, then I'm crazy. I don't know.
But like, I don't know. That'd be interesting because there's always speculation. I feel like before every event about, is the team getting along? Oh, do they like each other? Oh, do they have secret strats? And like, I feel like the stuff that you speculate about that is almost beforehand is almost never right, and then the things that are right get like rationalized afterwards to be like part of the reasoning when really like I think there's just a huge amount of variance on stage, especially at all levels, but especially at less professional levels.
Cure played on the Hot D stage last year. Okay. I thought so, but my memory is pudding. It's just
we researched 255 teams.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Interviewed so many teams, like literally called. Like you just get back. Like and some of these guys, like me and Kay were doing interviews. they were such big KO fans. It was so fun. They were like, "Oh my god, KO!" Like they're legitimately, I like calling them just out of the blue. Hey, getting a text. Hey, it's KO. Can we chat? Like these players got such a kick out of it. I think that was a lot of fun this year. That was one of the things I really enjoyed. Was actually talking to the players. It was a lot of fun.
Wait, who's KO?
Some washed up guy with a nice facial hair.
And like a stunning jawline.
Got that on me at least.
And dude, KO's got the most beautiful eyes. Like, can we just say that, like, for the record?
They're
Like,
so blue.
no. His girlfriend is a lucky man. I mean, you know what I mean?
Hello?
Kidding.
This is turning into the town hall rumor mill.
Do you just assume?
No,
we're
she's a lovely
gender?
person. That was a joke. I was making a joke on my love for KO. No, she's lovely. But no, KO, it was a lot of fun just to interview the players. And I don't know. This Heroic 4, I think, is going to be LSU UTA. And I think if UTA doesn't tilt, UTA is just going to freaking roll them. And then we're going to have a whole event with 7 games. And whoo!
Yeah, 3 matches in total, semi-finals, and that's Durham or Rooney. The venue this year is a college, I believe. College.
UNLV, I think.
Yeah.
College.
Yeah, it's at the stadium by the college.
I mean, that makes sense. That's cool. And I'm sure it'll look beautiful in 480p. And sweet. Well, that's Durham happening in a few weekends. I know the players are flying out today, I think. I think Cure flew out at like 8 a.m. And they've got to go through all the media, all the fun stuff, and then the whole breakdown. Tons of community people will be going out there as well. I saw many of the casters. They're already there getting ready for the event. Shane, or I keep calling you Shane. I don't know why. I got Shane Goocher in my mind. It's driving me nuts.
I don't play Paragon. God.
Dead game. That's a dead game.
Dead game. Yeah, that's an actual one.
That's a dead game. Dead on arrival. But when do you fly out?
I fly out on Friday, and I was like, I would like a direct flight. And they're like, cool. Because I'm like, I don't want to be tired when I get there. And then I got a direct flight, but I had to wake up at 4 a.m. So I shot myself in the foot with that one.
That's worth.
Yeah.
That's worth
so
it.
I get in at like noon on Friday. So if you guys want to hang out, just like shoot me a message, because like I'm looking for stuff to do before I can check into my hotel. Just saying.
Oh yeah, you can't even check into your hotel when you get there.
No.
That's an S
all good.
struggle.
Yeah, but the casters, we're all getting in on Friday. And then I actually don't know if to my knowledge, we're just there chilling. I don't think we're actually like doing anything from a production standpoint. I think Braun will be in the truck doing like stuff, but I think that's about it. Oh, I guess it won't be a truck. It'll be like a room, but in the production aspect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we can transition to discuss 2.0 and just kind of some of the little bits that they've released in the last week. It's been a fun week. I've anchored all of Reddit. That was exciting. Had a thread with over 1,000 upvotes about me tweeting, which, yay me, woo, we did it, boys. I mean, I guess we've made it. I can retire now. I've got that Reddit thread, but yeah, people were upset about some of the rewards that were going to be given towards the veteran players, and Blizzard has released the details about veteran loot boxes, which will be basically loot boxes with one additional item. And I think you're going to be limited to getting 10 of them, but you're guaranteed a legendary in each of them. So veteran players are going to get these 10 godlike loot boxes with lots of loot in them, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. I was thinking well, yeah, go Dunk. I've talked too much. Go.
I was just going to say I was really surprised to see them turn around with a resolution to that so quickly. That's all.
Yeah.
I thought they were like, I thought it's okay. How do you, because like part of me was like, guys, you're just really whining a lot. Let's settle. Let's take a minute here. But the other part of me was like people were making valid arguments. I was like, okay, like I do get what you're saying. So I was like, okay, like what would, so my original thought was like boxes from like level 1 to 5 only have 3 items in them or something. I don't know. That was like my initial thought. But I like that they just, rather than take something away, they give something more. I think that's a better Blizzard mentality. The other thought I was like, you get like a veteran stim pack, which is like a better stim pack. And they kind of did that anyway. They just gave a stim pack, but you can just get those in chests. I think they matter a little less. I would have preferred like old veteran players get like a veteran stim pack that's like a busted stim pack, like a super good stim pack that's like its length is its duration is determined on like what your player level was. That was my initial thought when I was theory crafting it. But I think what they came out with was fair, because like they already given you 280 items. Like they can't give you the whole store because it's the same people who are complaining, oh, you didn't give me enough items, or be the same people who complain when if you give them everything, they're like, God, Blizzard gave me everything, and now I have nothing to grind for.
Right. That's exactly what would happen. I agree.
It's the same people.
And then they immediately want more content, like, oh, they call it 2.0, there's no new content because I have everything already. And like that's shitty. I mean, I kind of hope they have like a spring loot box pack the way they do it with Overwatch, the way Overwatch has special events and they have, like basically these items that are for a certain time only. I actually hope for that because that creates like a longing for an item you can't get, and that sucks, but it's also awesome because then you could say, oh man, next spring I'm gonna work towards that. And even in World of Warcraft, which I've played for years and years and years, I still don't have the freaking Headless Horseman mount, but every Halloween I reinstall WoW. I'm like, I want that freaking mount. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. I've been doing it for like 15 years. I still have not gotten that mount, and it drives me nuts. But at the same time, it keeps me looking towards that, and it's this little thing I look towards. So although there is the gambling element of like you might not get roll the dice, get the item you want. You're gonna be able to afford if you save up the currency, if you save up your are they bits? Are they gems? I can't.
Shards.
Gems or shards?
Shards. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's gonna take me a little while to get used to. It's all just rocks in my mind.
Minerals.
Minerals.
Minerals. Yes.
But you'll be able to save up for like the one super dope one. Like I didn't have enough for the Hambog Diva in Overwatch, and I was really sad. But now I know next time gotta save up.
Yeah. Well, I also think it was interesting people complaining about gem costs and that they're doing it like every other free-to-play game ever, and that you buy stuff and you have leftovers, so you want to buy more. Guys, like, really? Are we surprised? This is a free-to-play game. Like, come on. Give your head a shakes, team. It's obvious. Come on.
I mean, I think there's a reasonable complaint like you could have of those systems holistically. It was just this is a game that's switching to the system, so it's the only avenue where you can actually complain about it. Like, you can't complain about a game that came out with it and established it because you could have just not played it in the first place, but switching to it is like one of the first times I think that people ever had an option to voice like, no, don't do this, because we know it is exploiting people. It's just, capitalism, boys.
It's exploiting in some ways. You can look at it that way, but I also think it gives them new freedom with the game. So, for example, before there was no way for them to give you like a real money currency. They can't say here's $5. But now that it's not dollars that you're spending, now that you're spending gems, you actually earn gems from playing the game. And that's one thing that was never even possible before. So that's a nice thing. They can also do special events around that kind of stuff, where it's like, again, you're basically getting money given to you to purchase those loot boxes that you want to buy and such. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's also good for opening the avenue for creating items and doing those special loot boxes for esports is my hope, really. Like, that's my whole benefit, as far as I'm concerned, is
it does that way better than real money purchase for every single box you want to make, or only able to buy boxes in bundle. It's so much more compelling if you like, oh, I happen to have some laying around, buy a box type thing,
I wonder if they'll go like a CSGO route almost, where like teams in the majors, they have stickers and you buy them and they pay the team.
If they don't,
or if they go banners, or I don't know what else is coming out.
If they don't do banners, sprays, and portraits, I'll be shocked. Like, I'll be upset actually. Like, I think they'll have made a huge mistake with this new system in place and committing to something like HGC, where they're putting a ton of emphasis and pouring a lot of money into it. You need to support it from the ground up, which is the game, like within the game itself. And Valve has proved that with Dota and CSGO, which are like the two biggest esports in the world now.
Yeah, I can't wait for the ability to support teams, all that other sorts, like the esports involvement, like the visceral connection you feel when I drop my hot Team 8 spray, whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Where's the LFM spray, man? Come on.
when I drop my sick LFM
There
spray,
you go.
and I'm taunting my opponents with it. Like,
We'll make sure to get a better logo before then.
please do, please do. For the record, for those who don't know, what does LFM stand for?
I think it stands for looking for more.
Yes. Old MMO.
I'm glad you know.
Wait, I thought that was like a joke question, or like they actually had a meme name, not the actual what LFM memes. Because I was like, name meme means. Because I was like, wait, how does anyone
No,
not know
because like
that?
I know what LFM stands for, but I was
Yeah.
hoping that they had some sort of like
some like
little
in-house
fairy
joke
monkeys
thing,
or
yeah.
something. I hope
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had. I didn't know, but I was just.
We're not creative enough for that. Sorry.
You had a chance. You had one shining moment, and you didn't take the opportunity to grasp it to troll Invram. Sad day.
Large fungal monster. It could be a lot of things.
Looking for memes.
Looking for memes.
Looking for memes is decent.
Yo, I would go with that. Frankly,
I'll tell our sponsor to change our name.
BBJ, what skin gets you the most moist out of all these skins?
Oh, wait, let me check.
You can't just ask someone that, Jake. Jeez.
I just did.
I don't see any support skins there, so I can't. How am I supposed to decide?
Can I even
yo, I like. Animals.
Ooh, I like the Wolverine monk a bit.
Oh yeah.
The new Ariel skin looks pretty decent too.
Wait, you like Wolverine Monk more than Ragnaros Uther?
I haven't seen Ragnaros Uther,
What?
You're missing out.
but Uther's also not even a real hero.
He
so-
is in this patch, dude, or the next patch. We played him, and he is a god.
Alright.
Isn't this godlike?
That looks just like
Yo.
Judgment Uther, though.
But it's
Suspect
he's
judgment.
It's also got
Purus.
spikes, dude.
I mean, I'm not gonna buy it unless I get it out of a crate.
Wow. That's my first craft.
Give me my free skins.
I'm building the crap out of that. This one's nice. And
I'm
it's-
building only announcer
Is
packs.
this like
I'm gonna
remastered? Is this a new one?
No, that's in the game.
Huh? I don't remember this tint looking this nice.
And it might be tweaked or something. There's a lot of skins actually
they
in
they
the
like
2.0.
retinted them, didn't they?
Yeah, they like a lot of the tints stay the same overall, but like have improvements. I think from what we were looking at.
This is gonna be fun. Let's go to Arthas. How many does he have of the same? Okay, so some of these are definitely like this tarnished Arthas. I think this is like a retint. The red.
Yeah, I don't think that's in game right now.
Laziest master skin on Arthas.
I hate it.
It's literally he just gets another shoulder and some more spikes. Like go back. Like switch between regular Arthas and master skin Arthas. Like look really?
Yeah, like his lower half doesn't change at all. He
They
doesn't even get a better sword.
No, they literally just copy the other pauldron over, and then he gets 2 extra
Oh,
horns.
his
That's
cape, his
literally-
cape
Cape's
is
a little
way
nicer.
nicer. Oh,
It's got
yeah.
no holes in it.
Oh,
And it's
okay, that's-
fuzzy. Look at that fuzz.
Nice.
No fuzz
man.
on this one.
Oh, that's all right.
They spent all their budget on the cape.
Yeah.
No, but definitely Primeval Diablo. When that thing is
Oh, yeah,
crawling,
that's true.
it's freaking terrifying. It is
Mhm.
straight out of the.
Yeah, whoever the animator is on this game that worked on Diablo, like, they were, having a good time creeping people out, watching a lot of horror films at the time, because it is perfect.
Oh my god!
I
Like
think
that. I have a physical reaction to that.
the first time I saw it, I got a little excited. Well, 2.0. I mean, I think one of the other bigger feedbacks I've heard is people are just kind of like, do we really have to have this for a month? Well, that's my motivation to play it where the progress gets wiped. And I'm like in that same boat where like I'm like going to log in and play stuff. And like I've actually played a couple games in 2.0 just because like I like opening loot boxes. It's really satisfying. So if I can play one game to get a loot box, I'm going to do it. Even just, the middle of the day. Why not? But it's tough to find motive to play it now that we've gotten pretty much all the changes that are in it on live. That's less loot boxes that gets open on live when that converts, right? Well,
Yeah.
not really because I'm at max, but
You're probably not at max under the new system.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I think I'm only at like 40 something. Yeah, I'm
40.
only getting like 40 or so total.
Well, like the last 10 chests are like infinitely many games, basically. Like the last 10 chests, for the legendary chests, like it's every 100 hero levels, and that's like basically a ton of in-game experience. So like if you look at the breakdown, you're probably capped on like all the chests below the legendary, Jake, but I bet you don't have all 10 legendary chests, so you better get to grinding.
I'm curious if there's like a way for me to figure that out, because
There's like a spreadsheet.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's all hero, like whatever your total hero level is minus like one for every hero.
Yeah, but the
'Cause
total,
each hero starts at a 1.
yeah,
But the experience curve is different.
yeah, exactly.
I think Argy has a doc somewhere. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick.
There's
He
one on
would. He
Reddit
would.
that like is a third party. Somebody made one based on what they were saying or whatever. That in the AMA in the Q&A actually they said that one was like pretty close.
Yeah.
So you can use that one to figure it out.
Hold on, it's in this. I'm just trying to get this chat to load. It's in here somewhere. I'll post it in chat in a bit.
So my total hero level is 587.
But how many heroes do you have like over 10? Because that's the real thing that determines how deep into the legendary chest area you go. Since those levels are worth a lot more on 2.0.
Well, I've got 24 that are 10, and then above 10, I've got 10.
All right. So I just linked it in chat. This is the running doc.
Yeah, look at them supports. Look at them supports.
This isn't the one that calculates your level in the new system, though.
Did I have the wrong one? Okay. This is still pretty cool though.
Yeah, that is actually nice.
I'm gonna click it.
So this is the gold. Yeah, sure. This is the gold one. That's the wrong one. That's the XP conversion. Yeah. That's still pretty cool though.
Huh. Wow. Well, I'm gonna open a lot of loot boxes, and it's gonna be fun.
Yes, loot boxes.
But
are
I think
beast.
they're gonna have to add in stuff. If we look at the timeline for 2.0, does it say anything? Phone, calm down. No.
It says buzz.
I know.
Didn't they say they're releasing like 3 heroes during the time of 2.0 or something? They'll be like, I saw it somewhere.
Well, on the timeline, there's Cassia, who we know about. There's another hero, and then there's another hero after that on the timeline.
So there's
Isn't one of them almost confirmed to be Genji?
supposedly
Yeah.
based on the Reddit detectives. In 1 week from today, we get a heroes timeline, whatever that is, April 12th. So I still have no idea. Like, even though we were at the summit, I couldn't tell you. And then we get a battleground, a hero launch event.
Oh, new battleground. Ooh.
It all goes live on the 25th, I think, is the actual launch.
That battleground better not be allowed for like opens and stuff like that. I'm tired of these patches in between open days.
That's an interesting point. Like, would they... I don't think they would change the HGC map pool mid-season, but like after the Crucible, like since like a halfway marker and after the mid-season brawl, they probably would potentially retire one of the maps and
Probably
rotate
take
the
out
map.
Warhead or something. Although I think Warhead's a fine map, actually. I like Warhead.
I mean, I would hope they would take out Warhead because no one likes it. It's like never played, but it's a new map, so like there's a chance they would try to like, tune it and make it. I don't know.
I think they're gonna rework. They're gonna make some changes.
I actually think Warhead's a better cursed.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell us why. Yeah.
Well, the bosses are neutral, so it's not like one team has their boss and the other team has their boss. Like you could, because on Cursed, what effectively you can do is you can push your boss lane out early if you have the better 3-man, get a fort down, and then pressure your boss to take a keep at any point you want. While on Warhead, its bosses are in the middle of the map. There's more contention. I don't think the nuke is better than the tribute necessarily, but I don't think like nukes aren't overpowered like they were before. So like you can honestly give both the first early nukes to get extra push in or just trade. I don't know. I think it has more room for decision making than Cursed.
That's interesting.
I think it's the scale of it is just like the global requirements are so huge. Like if you're just behind. Like I think I mean, I don't mind maps affecting the draft, but not when we have such a low pool of heroes that can global. And the question now is that do we have too few or do we have too many who can global? Like it was cool when it was like just Falstad, and that was really neat, or just Brightwing. You know what I mean? There's 2 globals in the game. Sure, there's stage drive. Okay, but no one took stage drive. Oh, and then we get the Haka, and then we get, now Gul'dan, and now we get, okay. So...
All right, Gul'dan's not a global. Calm down.
This blatant disrespect of the Hunt is going to trigger Trixler, man.
The Hunt, sorry, the Hunt.
Hunt,
I wasn't going to name every global
UCA.
ability in the game. But anyway, the long and short was, originally there were only a handful, and now, yes, okay, chat, okay, calm down. I wasn't going to name them all. This wasn't a list. This is just listing examples. Anyway, long and short is I think now we've reached the point where we've just got to put more in. Okay, oh God, stop. Okay, stop, chat. Too much. This wasn't a list.
I think globals on that map are actually a bait. I don't think picking like Falstead, like Dahaka is like, oh, we won the draft. I think that map's a lot more reliant on a strong 3-man than a global pressure. I mean, we haven't scrimmed or played that map in months.
Yeah, I have no comment on the map because like I don't ever see it. I hate playing on it personally. Every time I see it,
we'd take people there if they would stop banning it.
When it comes to the map discussion, I just want to see some pruning of the maps in Hero League. I want maps to just be taken out. I think the fact that I hit Haunted Mines and stuff still, it's just like, I feel like this is not a competitive map. I don't want to play on it in a competitive match. I'm fine with it in quick match, but in Hero League, it's just like, come on. Now we have to like play the cheesy Sylvanas or worry about the cheesy Sylvanas style, and I just dislike it immensely at this point.
All those Warhead thoughts are from Handlebars, by the way. He's yelling at me.
Stealing his talking points
from his cozy Blizzard job that he left us for.
Do you know what he's doing? I actually don't know what his job is.
I don't know if I can say it. I mean, he told me, so I probably can say it. I think he's working on like. I mean, I know he does some like playtesting stuff. I think he is doing a lot of stuff with the 2.0 though.
Cool.
Very nice.
Congrats again, Handle Brother. Well, obviously, there's not too much going on in 2.0. I'm excited to see what the timeline looks like next week. But beyond that, I mean, HGC returns a week from now as well. One more to the weekend after Dorm. Dorm's going to be happening in, 3 days? So keep your eyes out for that. You can watch it on heroesofthedorm.com. That's probably the best place to watch it because the player seems to work better there, I find. And you don't have to deal with the annoying emotes flying across the screen during a team fight. But
can you turn those off if you're on mobile?
I didn't know that was a thing. I have not watched on Facebook at all this season. Only here'sthedorm.com/watch.
Yeah, that's what you gotta watch.
I mean, my chat interaction though. I mean, if you want to chat,
see the Facebook chat.
The hearts and stuff fly over the screen. It drives me nuts, man.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we could like just as a community all like just show. I mean, I'm gonna be there in person, but just like show up in like the Heroes of the Storm Twitch account and then like watch it, chat there, and then watch it. I don't know.
If you guys get like Twitch emotes to be usable on Facebook, then people will watch. There needs to be some lulls.
Speaking of Twitch
some
emotes,
debateds.
look at that.
How can you even watch an esport without Bible thumps at this point? Honestly, it's just not possible.
You can't.
No. You just
How
can't.
do you show emotion?
So many not like thises that need to be.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I agree.
You know what's going to happen is Facebook is going to buy the rights to OMG Scoots because OMG Scoots is gone, and I think LOL, the better TV emote, is also been changed to be. I can't think of the frog's name. Guys, help me. What's the meme frog? What's his name? Pepe. Yeah. I think he's now a Pepe lol, and it used to be like Total Biscuit. So, Facebook, they gotta put out those esports dollars and scoop up those good emotes.
I was gonna say it was just April Fool's. Well, they changed all the standard stuff to Pepe. That was just an April Fool's thing.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty cool.
I didn't actually realize that. That's amazing. I got debated. I did. That's...
Can we slowpoke meme real quick? Like, can we?
Awesome. Well, let's transition to the shout-outs, friends. Starting with you, Inverum.
Yeah, just thanks once again for having me on the show, and be sure to check out that sweet hot D action. It's this Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific, or at the Shrine Auditorium in Las Vegas, and tickets are $15 if you're in the area and want to go. There's also a bunch of fun stuff happening. There is an after party for those of you who are going with Squadron and HeroSite. We're partnering up. It's at 9 p.m. If you want to find out more information, you should check out Squadron on Twitter, and you can RSVP and check that out as well. And of course, if you guys want to check out all my good stuff, Inverum Gaming on Twitter is the place to do it. Lots of casting stuff, arenos, and yeah, that's about it.
BBJ.
All right, I got to shout out all my players, obviously. So Soya Sarian, Draded, Heckram J, and Ishbu. And then a few people behind the scene. Renal, our manager, Kanip, and Short Steve are co-owners, I guess. Call them co-owners. Guess that's about it. Nobody else really helps us. We're pretty independent, you know.
Douglas?
Shoutouts to Blizzard for responding so quickly to the 2.0 loot box changes and stuff. I think that was really great. Regardless of what side you fell on for the community, I just like that the attitude Blizzard in general has been having has been more and more open and communicative. You know, this year especially than previously in Heroes. So thanks a lot. Also, all the community stuff that they've been doing with community members has been a huge step up over the last year. So good stuff.
So chat is saying no ETC nerf talk. We're going to give it another week. It's still young before we go in on it. Yes, his win rate has dropped 10%. Something we'll keep our eyes on. Some of those kind of win rates dropping tend to be just because people aren't used to the change. When you're used to being able to do X, Y, and Z, the adjusting takes a little while. We'll see. Probably a good topic for next week. Big shout out to Inverum BBJ for coming on and joining Dunk and I this week. And since we will have HGC coming up next week and that Heroes timeline coming out, looking forward to chatting about that when we get there. Till then, enjoy your Heroes of the Dorm. To everyone traveling, be safe in Vegas. Don't pick up anything odd you find on the ground, and have a good time. GG's.
GG.